This post coming in, some calling it cryptic, from the Deputy Director for the FBI, Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino, friend of ours here at Rumble, now Deputy Head of the FBI. What has he seen that's caused him to post this extraordinary, Gnostic, cryptic, won't believe the things I've seen, they're far beyond your wildest dreams? During my tenure here as Deputy Director of the FBI, I've repeatedly relayed to you that things are happening that might not be immediately visible, but they are happening, like photosynthesis, I suppose. The Director and I are committed to stamping out public corruption and the political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It is a priority for us, but what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into the aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core. Now, this is the key line. What I've learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core. Not the core, my core. Because you could just say the core and it would be generalized, but that's actually he's feeling this in his tummy. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. We are going to conduct these righteous, that's a Christian word, baby, and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. We are going to get the answers we all deserve. Now, it's almost an online hobby to get clips of Bongino while he was doing my job now, while he's doing his current job, Deputy Head of the FBI, and go, look, this is what he said about the Epstein files when he was doing his show on Rumble. This is what he's saying now that he's got his show at the FBI. Because in a way, isn't it a kind of theatre? I don't know. Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that. Isn't it interesting that we are beginning to see the fruits of the transitions that we discussed, i.e. new elites has emerged? Dan Bongino, though he's run for office before, you don't get Dan Bongino without Rumble. You don't get Dan Bongino without the sort of new power of streaming, and you don't get Dan Bongino without, I suppose, Peter Thiel and his investment into Rumble. What will be interesting to see will be how the new elites with their new power, look at how Zuckerberg, forgive this word because it sounds sort of a bit cruel, snaked his way out of alliance with the neoliberal folk into Trump. Look at how Bill Gates pullulated, he oozed his way into the kind of affiliation with MAGA. And again, and most famously, but as it turned out temporarily, Elon Musk made new alliances. These are all examples of the new elites. They're the Carnegie, the Rockefeller, the Rothschilds of this age. People that have monumental influence that goes beyond the power of nations. Look at us, little darlings, believing that the information might be in like a tub like that, like a box that you would get from Walmart. Of course it's not. It's going to be on some little drive. It's going to be clandestine information. We have, our powers of imagination are limited. So we imagine the machinations of power in ways that we would watch a soap opera, or let's be favourable and kind, you know, classical Greek drama or comedy, Sophocles, say what you will. But actually, it's so complicated, isn't it? And what Bongino has done is he's lived in both worlds now. In the words of Joni Mitchell, he's looked at the FBI from both sides now, and he's seen what it's like to critique the FBI from outside to being an incumbent and denizen of the institutions of power. Let's see what James O'Keefe was saying. He said, we have a right to know what it is that shocks Dan Bongino to his core. Many people can't handle the truth, but more harm will come from not having it. I like that guy, James O'Keefe. He's a good dude. Let's have a look what Whitney, that's probably how you pronounce it, is saying. Now that Trump is trying to deflect talk of the Epstein-Trump relationship by talking about the Epstein-Clinton relationship, the shift to the Epstein-Clinton relationship will almost certainly focus on Clinton's ties to Epstein after Clinton left office after the year 2000, and will not touch on the 17 visits Epstein made to the Clinton White House. You'd think if you're president of the United States, you could do your own sex trafficking without Epstein. I mean, if you will be punished if you're lazy, Bill Clinton. I mean, mind you though, when he tried to do it himself in the office, I'm not calling Jeffrey for this one. I'm just going to traffic this woman that's walking past. Hey, Monica, I'm going to traffic you. Cigar? Saxophone? Saxophone. Oh shit, I should have got Jeffrey involved. There's sperm all over this goddamn office. JFK never had to put up with this. Why don't I get to use the tunnels? Why don't people think it's cool when I do it? I want to be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. Happy birthday, Mr. President. You know, a lot of these things are timing. To do so would lead to too many troubling questions for the uni-party, such as, who was Mark Middleton? Worth finding that out, Whitney Webb, she knows the score. Who is Mark Middleton? What were Epstein and Wexner actually using the CIA-linked airline Southern Air Transport for? Yeah. Why was Robert Rubin the first person to invite Epstein to the White House? Yeah. What was Commerce Secretary Ron Brown due to testify about before he died in a suspect plane crash? People do die a lot, don't they, around the Clintons? If Trump actually wanted to expose the Epstein-Clinton relationship, he could release all the info on Mark Middleton, who died in a totally impossible suicide after Epstein's 2019 arrest. And the scandal often referred to as Chinagate, ASAP. But he won't, because it involves his favourite ally nation state, oh dear, see, and some still powerful oligarchs doing very illegal things. I think we all project onto Trump what we want Trump to be to some degree. Perhaps we do that with all patriarchal figures, maybe even leaders. It's probably complicated. But anyway, my point is this. I kind of wanted the rabble-rousing bull in a china shop Trump to continue just like casting out, this is what happened to JFK, this is the Epstein files, this is what was going on with UFOs. I wanted that kind of stuff. And it's kind of naive to imagine that you might get such things, because consider Dan Bongino, deputy head of the FBI, is essentially trying to let us know that he is massively conflicted and struggling as a result of the twin obligations he has to carry on his public persona. Beyond public persona, I would say his essential identity as a truth teller, blue collar, reach the people type of a guy, and now someone within the occult systems of government. When I mean occult, I mean obtuse, occluded and clandestine. He's struggling with that, and I think anyone would struggle with it. Do you agree with that? That's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and the chat. 1775, a delicious coffee. Let's be honest, most coffee, all it does is it helps you to organize a stool in that inward back pocket you call the butt. What does it also do? It leaves you feeling all down, jittery, foggy, and needing another cup of coffee. You can only trust 1775, the one true coffee of revolution. Rejuvenate coffee is science-backed coffee. It's real Arabica beads. Arabacadabra, I say, because it makes me feel absolutely magic. It's infused with CAAKG, which is a kind of like a rifle, you know, like an assault rifle, but it's assault in your central nervous system with delicious beans, baby. A compound shown to support cellular energy, metabolism, and even healthy aging. It's built for people who take their health seriously, who want to show up with focus and strength every single day, like me. If you care about how you feel now and how you'll feel 10 years from now, this is your coffee. Go to 7075coffee.com/me probably and order Rejuvenate coffee today. Fuel your body, protect your future, rejuvenate, you sick perverts. Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here, or join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Rumble.